How's it going today? Today we're going to review some stocks. Make sure you like and subscribe. I got some stock picks I'm going to come out tomorrow and do, and hopefully upload them Friday and do that. So anything, we're going to review some stocks I picked a year ago, 6 months ago, and 3 months ago. So essentially, that's all. Let's just jump right into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Where I pick these stocks, I can leave a link down in the description. I just kind of review them, check where they're at, see what they're doing, see if I'm beating the market. And let's kick it off. I picked 5 stocks last year ago. It was basically in June. And I picked them for June, saying that, hey, let's see if I can. What I did was I basically took an easy way out, and I basically picked the 5 best performing stocks of that for that time, and see if they can beat the market. And that's kind of my philosophy. Like, usually the good stocks just keep getting better, you know what I mean? So it's just how it is, and let's jump right into it. I picked Shopify, Mongodb, Zscaler, Octorok, and the Trade Desk a year ago, and it seems like just these 5 stocks have just done just amazing over the year and everything like that. So the Shopify is actually up 182%. This thing has just killed it over the last couple of months. This thing's just been on fire. Versus the market only up 12%. So essentially, really the market kind of turned around a little bit when I was picking these stocks. The market was actually down quite a bit, but now Shopify is only up 182%. So really, that's really that basically, if you just have one of those stocks in your portfolio like that, you probably could beat the market about every time, because the market's not going to return. Just to put that in perspective, Shopify has went up in 1 year more than the S&P's probably went up in the last, almost 5, 6, 10 years almost. The S&P, when I first got into it, was around 1,500, and it's at 3,000. So that's just 100% gain. This is almost 3 times. You would have to go all the way back to maybe 2009 if you bought it perfectly at the bottom of the financial crisis to get that type of return. So, but anyway, now the next one is Octa. Octa is basically a cloud computing play. Up 74%. This thing has just killed it also. It's just done an amazing job. Octa just keeps going higher, and as you can see, like I said, a lot of these companies are cloud softwares and stuff like that, just basically moving to the cloud, and it just keeps going that trend. And I kept saying that it will, and it will continue that. I believe it's the trend of the 2020s. 5G also going to be there, but I think cloud computing, the transfer to everything to the cloud, is going to be big. And then the next one is MongoDB, another cloud computing play, up 68%. It basically trounced the market. The next one is the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk is basically software as a service. Think of, kind of marketing and stuff like that. It helps people better at marketing. I can leave a link down in the description. I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long explaining every company. The next one is Zscaler, up 56%. This stock has just crushed it. It's done well. It was down a little bit. That's why you have to hold. Actually, Zscaler actually lost like 70% of its value over the whole time period. So essentially, it went all the way from about 88 or whatever it was at, or 80 or something when I picked it, and then it crashed all the way down to like 42, almost 50%. Over 50% cut in price, and now it's back up to 110. Or 120 or whatever it was. I forget exactly. I looked at this. I forget the exact numbers when I picked them. I did the math. But anyway, up 56% for Zscaler, another good stock to own. And the market's only up 12%, like I said. So essentially, these 5 stocks that I picked a year ago completely beat the market up, versus on average up 89% versus 12% on the market. So essentially beat them pretty good. And now we're going back to 6 months ago. I picked 6 months ago. These was my largest holdings for 2020. It was Amazon, Google, Shopify, Nvidia, and the Trade Desk. Once again, like I said, I normally just keep adding to it. Shopify is actually in every single one of these groups. So I've been pounding the table. I think Shopify is probably the number one. Between that and the Trade Desk, I think it's probably one of the number 1 stocks on my channel that I just keep saying that to buy, and it was. I think, if you would have bought it every single time I said to buy it, you'd be up massively. But anyway, Amazon's up 33%. Good year for Amazon. Amazon, like I said, it was flat, so I really wasn't expecting. Normally I look for them growth stocks that just been flat for a while. Normally them things are about to scream higher. Like with Amazon, up 33%. But and the market's actually down 3%. So essentially, if you had bought the market, you'd be down 3%. If you had bought Amazon, you'd be up 33%. And over the last 6 months, so in January, I picked those or starting out. And then the next one is Google. Google is up 7%. Pretty good for Google. I mean, it got hit a little bit with advertisement fears, but it's done well. It came back pretty quick for the most part. And now the next one is Shopify, up 90%. I mean, once again, Shopify has been the killer this year. I mean, this thing is just, over the last really 3 years or so. Well, 2016, whatever, 4 years ago, I guess. Ever since Shopify came on the market and IPO'd, I mean, this thing has just been a monster. If you would have bought it any of those last 4 years, you've done well if you hold on to it. I mean, it has lost about 50% of its value, about, I think, 3 or 4 times over those years. But if you would hold on for a long time, for Shopify is one of those ones that did well. And now the next one is Nvidia. It's a chip maker. This is also one of my long-term winners. I mean, between Shopify and Nvidia, I mean, these are the reasons that you go long-term. I mean, Shopify is actually up over almost 33% since I bought it in 2016. I mean, they're basically just life-changing returns almost. I mean, you don't really have to, you just pick one of those. I mean, hell, if you just put $1,000 in it, you're sitting on 30 some odd $1,000 on 30 extra money. And so with Nvidia has been a long-term winner. That's why it's such a large position. Just because it's been a long-term winner. A lot of these stocks like Shopify and Nvidia, it's not like I added a lot of original money, but they just went up so much. And that's why Nvidia is still my largest holding. And that's why I picked it. It's up 44% for the year. I mean, once again, it's back. And it's done well, and this thing's just been on a tear, and I believe it will continue to that way. I mean, as think of AI, I could leave a link in the description talking about Nvidia and why I like it. And the trade desk up 28%. I mean, it's kind of tied into Google advertisement. It's not up a whole lot versus the market's up quite a bit, but on average of 6 months ago, it's up 40% versus the market down 3%. So beat the market pretty good there too. I mean, basically 4 times better than the market. So, I mean, did pretty well. Now, the next one I picked 3 months ago, I picked Google, Shopify once again, and Mongodb. The market's up only about 13% of the time, 13% versus, and now we're going to get into, actually, the Google is the only loser to the market over them 3 months. And this whole, 13 stocks, I have one that doesn't beat the market, but it's up 10%. It's kind of got hit a little bit with advertisement worries, but that could change. I mean, hell, that's only 3%. Google can go up 2-3% tomorrow, and and there you are back up on the market. It's just kind of fluctuation. I mean, the market can go down and Google can go up, and it seems like that's kind of the case. And now Shopify is up. I'm not going to really talk about Shopify. I've talked about enough, but up 84% over 3 months. I mean, this thing's just killed it. And then MongoDB, once again, I just keep adding to my winners, and that's kind of what the case was. MongoDB is up 86%. Once again, pretty beat the market pretty well. Up 86%, almost doubled in the last 3 months if you would have got in, and that's why you have to buy those dips. I mean, the market was coming down pretty good and came down pretty hard on those days, but back at it again, and that's an average of 60% versus the market 13%. So the market did pretty well with last 3 months. So essentially, it did pretty well versus 60%. Once again beat the market. But anyway, make sure you leave a comment of what you're looking at. I picked those stocks, and I go and pick some more ones that are coming out. I'll probably go stick with the cloud theme with them, because I just really believe strongly in the cloud and everything like that. Maybe cloud stock videos. I could leave another link, because as you can see, about every single one of these are into the cloud, especially the year ago one. I mean, about every single one. I mean, even Shopify as a software as a service type cloud thing. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment of what you're looking at. I always like to hear from what you guys have to think and everything. If you own these, hopefully you own some of these. I mean, because they've done well over the last couple years or so. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.